Hello and welcome to the GTMA podcast. Today I'm joined by Paul Jordan of Testo Industrial Services. Good morning, Paul.
Morning, Alan.
I hope you're doing okay.
Yeah, very well, thank you. For a Friday, at least.
Yes, yes, it certainly is. So today I wanted to talk with Paul about what Testo is, what they do in the UK, how they contribute to the manufacturing sector. So first of all, Paul, I'd like to give you an opportunity to maybe give us an overview of your products and services and how these bring value to your customers.
Okay, yeah. Well, first of all, Alan, thank you to the GTMA for facilitating this podcast. It's much appreciated. Yeah, to start, I guess, with a little bit the history of our company. So Testo as a global brand was formed in 1957. It's probably better known in the UK, at least, for being a provider of test and measuring equipment, handheld measuring equipment. Testo Industrial Services formerly was part of the Testo organization in Germany. It was the accredited calibration laboratory there. And in 1999, they split it away from the main business and set up Testo Industrial Services, which started trading as a separate entity within the Testo group. From that start point in 1999 till to date, they now have over 300 accredited calibration procedures, over 1,600 employees with locations in 7 European countries, as well as Germany, of which obviously TIS UK is one of those subsidiary locations. They are, as in Testo Industrial Services, is well known for being one of the leading providers of metrological services for calibration and GXP services in Europe. So I guess to the UK, what do we do? Well, we follow similarly with what our parent company does in Germany. So with the exception that our territory is to support the UK and Ireland markets, we have also accredited calibration services. We also have GXP services on top of calibration, which is the validation and qualification services. And we also have test equipment management. We offer that as a service through our online web portal, Primas. So it's not a software-driven service. It's web-based, where our customers can log on, see all their equipment history, get all the current and previous calibration certificates are available, and they can also do a little bit of analysis about the way that the test equipment performs. To the question of how are we sort of valued in the market, or how are our services valued in the market, I think it's fair to say that we know that calibration is essential for customers to ensure, the quality of the product or services that they provide. However, we know that from a customer side, managing this sometimes can be a bit of an onerous task, and is something that they have to do, but don't always want to do in a sense. So obviously from our side, our job is to ensure we manage that for them, to make the process of getting equipment calibrated as seamless and as efficient as we possibly can, and to take any of the hassle and effort from the customer side out of it, really. Primas is an example of that. It can provide reminders for when equipment's due. There's an escalation process, for example, so that if the first reminder is ignored, it can escalate up the hierarchical sort of tree within an organization until obviously somebody will take notice of it. So there's some sort of security built in there. I think at the moment, from what we hear from the market in terms of customer feedback, we obviously seek customer feedback regularly by various different forms. It's quite positive regarding the services that we offer so far, thankfully.
That's excellent. That's quite a full gambit of services you're offering in the UK market, UK and Ireland. How have you found the last year, to bring it up to date? What's the last 12 months been like, and how has your company had to change to meet the commercial demands?
I think in terms of change, Alan, it's more about being able to offer this one-stop shop service that a lot of the larger customers require. So making sure that we have the services available to offer them throughout for all of their calibration needs. I think it's fair to say that it's not going to be possible to offer everything. I mean, the test, the calibration market is very diverse in the UK, as I'm sure you're aware, but at least we can get to that sort of 80-20 position where we can offer sort of 80% of the services. And things like the addition of torque accreditation. We're currently going through the process of being accredited for torque, up to 1,000 Newton meters for torque wrenches. We'll also be accredited for torque drivers. So that's new for us, and that accreditation will take into account both the old 2003 standard and the 2017 standard. So I mean, it's building services all the time, step by step, to make sure we achieve that goal of becoming a one-stop shop. And another example is this year we acquired TER Calibration, who are based in Manchester, or just to the northwest of Manchester. They have accredited services for electrical and pressure. So formerly Testo Industrial Services didn't have electrical accreditation in the UK. Obviously now we do, so there's another addition there. And the pressure accreditation at TR was wider than what we could previously offer, because our service up until then was more around providing a calibration service around the sort of Testo products, because obviously that's our background and where we came from. And of course, it's a good location in the northwest for us because, there's a lot of industry in the northwest of England, as we're aware.
Yeah, very much so. I guess that naturally leads us on to that's what the 12 months were like, but you've also hinted at a little bit of what's to come and where your plans lie. How would you summarise your goals for maybe the immediate future? How are your customers and potential customers going to see Testo projected over the next 6 to 12 months, maybe?
I mean, to continue in that vein, really, to continue listening to the market to understand what's required, making sure from our point of view it makes commercial sense to add new services where it's necessary. And I think the thing we can say that as a company, Testo Industrial Services, it's a very innovative, if I can fix my teeth, innovative company.
Sure.
In Germany, they opened the calibration factory 3 or 4 years ago. The innovation within that building is something that I've not seen before in terms of automation. For example, they have automated goods in storage. There's greater flexibility with the colleagues that book instruments in the order fulfillment team. They don't have to be in the factory to do it. They can work remotely now. Device equipment delivery to the laboratories is automated via conveyor belts. And I think for us, the benefit in the UK is that we can we're the benefactors of that innovation. Whatever goes on in Germany at some point in time could end up in the UK. So it's a good tick in the box for us in terms of innovation. And just going back on what I said before, we want to be a one-stop service provider. We want to continue to expand our services. We want to be a modern employer, promote a good, strong culture with regards to the service and quality. And we're always looking at ways in which we can reduce our impact on the environment. So, for instance, we'll next be looking at our electricity usage, for example, to see how we can reduce our impacts a little bit there.
It's interesting you mentioned about innovation being driven from the German side. Clearly, you're also hinting at the fact that innovation is then going to be driven backwards from the UK operations, and I've no doubt your German colleagues will learn from that. And that, I would say, that's fairly typical across the industry. No one has the full set, and I think having that one foot in the European side and one foot in the UK, I think Testo stands to benefit. Thank you very much for today, Paul. I'd just finally like to ask you, for those that have listened to the podcast, if there's any message or what's the key takeaway you would like to leave with them?
Just a couple of points, really. I mean, the one point is to mention that we are manufacturer independent. So although we have Testo in our name, we calibrate all manufacturers' test equipment, not just Testo. I think that's an important message. We're a national service provider. And I suppose finally to say that Testo Industrial Services is a leading provider of metrological and quality related services, I've already mentioned. And we have our core values described. For our customers, we say more service, more security. For our employees, we say be yourself, be together, and be passionate. And from the company side, we say Testo, be sure. So those are our values, and we try to live them every day as best we can. Obviously, if you want more information, you can check out the website www.testotis.co.uk, or if you want more information about our services, obviously email us at info@testotis.co.uk as well.
Thank you very much, Paul, and that does us for today. Thank you.
Okay, Alan, thank you very much.